Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is a rainy Wednesday here in Flora, Mississippi, where I am coming to you live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Excited about what they're doing over there. I talked to two different friends who contacted me yesterday who were wanting to get more information on women's wellness and plan their visit. So I highly encourage everyone to get over to Women's Wellness and see all the great things they are doing over there. I know that I am extremely happy with what I have experienced. If you missed yesterday's show, we had Morgan Charlie on, my Tuesday co host, and I think we had a really great educational discussion that definitely showed two different sides of a topic. If you listen to me at all, you know where I stand concerning vaccines. Morgan, obviously, she is in the medical field. She just graduated nurse practitioner school. I think we are getting a weather warning on air. But I'll stay with you guys online. Yeah, so she just graduated nurse practitioner school, and obviously she's more pro-vax. And I think that we were able to really have a conversation that you could see two different viewpoints on a certain situation, but also we were able to have that conversation rationally. Nobody got angry, nobody yelled, nobody screamed. We still loved each other at the end of it, and we actually agree on a lot more than we disagree on. And I think that's what happens in a lot of cases on many different topics. If you just are able to have those conversations, I think that's what we learned from Charlie Kirk. He showed us that it's okay to have hard conversations and debates. That's what our country was founded on. We should be able to voice our opinions on different issues and not have to worry about being assassinated for it or being canceled or shut down or silenced. I think it's fitting that we are now seeing Google come forward and say that they will reinstate these accounts, these people's accounts who they did away with because they didn't like what was being said on those accounts about a vaccine or during COVID and about the shutdown of the country. So I think we're truly seeing history play out, and we are seeing our First Amendment right play out. Now, I am not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. I don't like a lot of what he says. And that's been for a while now. He said some pretty awful things about what he, I guess, considers the anti-vax community. He had some pretty awful things to say last night as well. But you know what? It is his right. It is his right. And he has that right of free speech, and he should be able to say how he feels. So, we can't believe that when it's just our side saying what we believe. We have to afford that same exact right of free speech to the other side as well. I mean, obviously, there are going to be things that we hear people say that we don't like. But this is America, and they have the right to say it regardless. Doesn't mean there's not consequences to things you say. Obviously, we've seen that as well. Tomorrow, there will be a big meeting at the Capitol. I'm going to tell you all about that. But first, I want to give you our numbers. Let's see if I can find my text line number. I can't ever remember it. I used to have so many numbers memorized, stored in my head. I can tell you my 5 best friends' phone numbers, their home phone numbers from growing up. And now I cannot remember a phone number to save my life. I do know the number to call into the station. We're going to have a friend of mine call in just a minute. I really want you to hear from him. But 601-879-0002 is the call-in number. And found it. 601-879-4648 is our text line number. We do have a text line now. I was excited. I got some text on the text line yesterday. I didn't even realize it because Morgan was here and we were deep in conversation. So I didn't even realize that until I left. And I was happy that you guys are are using the text line now. So, yeah, definitely text in if you have any comments, questions. If you want to tell me that you disagree with me completely, that's fine too. Remember, we all have that right to give our opinion. So 601-879-4648 is the text line. And if you have any questions about weight loss, hormone replacement therapy, skincare, Botox, all the things at Women's Wellness, you can text Lindsay, that's with an E. And Jamison Haygood always used to say, you got to get the name right or I'm not going to get the email. You got to get my name right or they're not going to get your text message. That's Lindsay with an E. And you can text them at 601-990-4255. Yeah, so big meeting happening tomorrow at the Capitol. Our Education Freedom, it's their second time to meet. They have 4 speakers. I think this meeting is supposed to last from 10 until 4. They will take a lunch break. At 1 o'clock, they will be hearing from Erica Donalds. You may know her husband, Byron. He is running for governor in Florida. He is also a congressman from Florida. Erica actually sits on our advisory team, our advisory board at Moms for Liberty. So they are dear friends of ours. They have supported our mission and support what we do. And I'm so excited to welcome her to Mississippi tomorrow. She will be speaking at 1. When I get done with the show, I'm going to hightail it over there. Hopefully won't miss too much of what she has to say. But today, in just a few minutes, my friend Gerald is going to be calling in. Now, he is an educator himself, and he has been working in education, I believe, for over 30 years. And he has some opinions on school choice that I'm really excited for everyone to hear. What we have seen in this community that I live in, at least, and surrounding communities, I think, is that we're seeing the educators and the public schools speak out against school choice. Now, I personally believe that's because they have been lied to. They have been given, what do they like to call it? What does the left like to say? Disinformation, misinformation. I call them lies. And they've been lied to by Nancy Loom and the Parents Campaign, which basically is Mississippi's teachers union. We don't have an official union here in the state, but trust me, she's taken that job on herself and she's good at it. If you can say that. She's good at lying. And she has got the public school teachers eating out of the palm of her hand. She has made them believe there will be a mass exodus from public schools. This will be the end of public schools. The sky is falling. What will we do? Whatever will we do? Again, Nancy Loom is a liar. She has been probably the single force that has stopped us in Mississippi from getting a parental bill of rights through the legislature. And she is very much anti-school choice when we know school choice works. If you don't like the term school choice, you can say parent power. I heard Leah say this the other day. Call it whatever you want. Parent power. Educational freedom. Putting parents back in the driver's seats concerning their children's education. Because what we do know is that it is the fundamental right of a parent to raise their child as they see fit. And that includes in education and how their children are educated. Every child is unique. They are all different. They all learn differently. They all think differently. So the same learning environment is not going to work for every single child. Now, special needs children are one thing, and Mississippi actually does have school choice, a form of school choice in place for special needs children. But that's not the only reason why a child might perform better in a different setting. There could be bullying issues. There could be classes that children feel drawn to or something that sparks their interest that aren't offered at certain schools. There are a million different reasons why parents might need to choose a different school for their child than the public school that they are automatically zoned for. While there is no bill language yet, now bills do not, we don't see the bills or see the language in the bills until session starts. That doesn't happen until January. Once they gavel into session, there will be a deadline. And by that deadline, every bill by each legislator has to be submitted. That's when we will see the bill language. Let's see, I think this might be my friend calling in. WIB, you're on the air.
Hey, this is Gerald Wade.
Hey, Gerald. Yeah, so this is my friend Gerald Wade, and I am so excited. Thank you so much for being able to call in today.
Absolutely.
We met when we were campaigning for Chris McDaniel. Many of you remember that he ran for lieutenant governor, and I'm so impressed with Mr. Gerald Wade. And he right now is in the process of writing a column. Or does that come out every week, Gerald?
I think they're going to run it every week. There'll be about 5 or 6 different articles, but it'll be one a week.
So tell us your background. You're an educator. Tell us what your background in education has been.
I am. I've been in education about 30 years. I've been in public schools for most of that time. The last several years, I've worked at a private school here in Bay Springs. I've also worked in private business that was education related. And a lot of those times I overlapped with private business and public schools. And so I've been around a long time, been around long enough to see the education landscape change dramatically from when I first started in this business some 30 years ago to now. And I just believe it's time that we really take another step and really make things better for our kids across the state.
Absolutely. I mean, I completely agree. Absolutely. So what we have seen, at least around here, I'm in Madison County, and I think a lot of the educators that I have talked to in Madison County and in Rankin County are not in favor of school choice or educational freedom. Do you know why? Or what do you think is the reason why so many seem to be against it?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. And I think here in the last few days and probably going into the next several weeks, you're really going to see that ramp up with public school teachers, public school administrators, superintendents across the state. I think there's a concerted effort to get out ahead of anything that might be coming from the legislature. But I think the ultimate reason why they're coming out against it is simply fear. I think there's some organizations out there that like to pass along maybe wrong information that scares teachers. Now,
that would be the parents' campaign people. I'll say it. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's right. And let me say this. I've had kids, my own kids in public schools. I've had my own kids in private schools. My wife is a public school teacher, even today. So I see a lot of this from both sides. And I think there is a fear that some of our public schools have made really great strides over the last several years, really digging in on the standards, the Common Core standards that are being taught, and testing, and really learning how to put all that together to score well on these end of course tests and do well with their students, and they're to be commended. We've seen a lot of progress in our public schools. Mississippi used to be known as being last place across the nation. It is no longer the case. We're probably in the top 20 now, maybe even getting closer to the top 15. So there's been a lot of great strides made. And I think there's a fear that any kind of school choice legislation, all of a sudden, all of the really good kids, really smart kids are going to flock to some other educational opportunities, and it's going to decimate what they've been working on for years. I think that's totally wrong. I think that's the totally wrong approach to take to school choice. I think those good quality schools that we have are going to continue to be good. They're going to continue to work hard. They're going to continue to put out some excellent products for their students and really do well. But school is not a one-size-fits-all thing.
Right.
And there are lots of programs for students that have maybe dyslexia or maybe have other learning disabilities, learning difficulties. And those programs are good. There are specialty schools that help with a lot of those things. But you've got a lot of students like my middle child who just struggled with some basic skills. They didn't have a learning disability, but the learning didn't come as quickly as it did to maybe my other child.
Mm-hmm.
And so better situations and having opportunities to make better decisions on places that can teach her in a different way has been tremendously beneficial to her. And I know that's the case across the state. I had a conversation with a parent this morning, actually not a parent of one of our kids here, but a parent from a public school, who is struggling with what to do for her child that just has a few little difficulties that the school just simply doesn't seem to be able to meet the needs that particular child has. Not that the school's doing anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That child just needs something in a different way. We were having conversations about how we might get help. There's cases like this across the state, and
Right.
we're need to be looking at ways that every parent can make a decision that's best for their child in the situations that they're in. So that's to me, that's the ultimate goal, is to make sure every child is learning in the best way possible, that every child deserves the best education they can get. And so empowering parents, regardless of their economic standing, to be able to make the best decisions for their kids.
I completely agree. Gerald, we got to take a quick break. Can you stay with us and talk on the next segment, the other side of this break?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No problem.
Perfect. Okay. Y'all stay with us. We will be right back here. I'm here with my friend Gerald Wade on the phone, and he is talking to us as an educator about why he is pro school choice. We'll be right back here on the Lindsay Beckham Show. Beckham Show.
.039 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Nick Bain served Mississippi for over a decade in the State House. During that time, he fought for our children by protecting them against explicit materials pushed by the woke agenda. He protected taxpayers by streamlining government and helped create policies that have made Mississippi better. Nick and his team at Bain Bowen will use the same tenacity in helping you with all your legal matters. Call them today at 601-953-2994. Find Nick online at bainbowen.com. That's BAIN Bowen.com.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting People Lease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
Tom's Fried Pies. And I made the mistake. I ordered one pie. I figured, you know what? I'll try Tex-Mex. It was so good. Man, second go round, I ate the pecan pie. You will need a meat pie and a dessert one. Get both because they are off the hook.
I went to Tom's Fried Pies today, and I'm going back. I tried the taco one, really good. When I go back, I'll bring some home.
Tom'sFriedPies.com.
UrgeVet Emergency Vets Madison has been serving your pets for 5 years now. From late night emergencies to weekend worries, we have been here caring for your pets when your regular vet isn't available.
From the moment you walk in the door, our team of veterinary professionals is here to care for your pets at all hours of the nights, on weekends, and holidays. Located at 15 Olympic Way in Madison. Call us at 601-790-1918. UrgeVet, always here when your pet needs us most.
At Bank of Yazoo, we believe that common sense makes for better banking. That's why we've taken our array of checking accounts and simplified them for you, boiling down features and benefits to create our New You, Achieve You, Benefit You, and Protect You checking accounts. Ready to discover how simple is better? Talk with us today. Bank of Yazoo, Bank of You. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender. Come together.
Welcome back to the Lindsay Beckham Show. We are joined on the phone by my friend Gerald Wade, who is an educator. He works in the education setting, and he is one of the few that I've talked to that is pro school choice. So, Gerald, we have seen a lot of talk that there will be a school choice bill in this upcoming legislative session. Now, we have not seen the bill or the language yet, obviously, but our speaker, Jason White, is very much in favor of school choice and said it's going to be his top legislative priority. When you are talking to people in your area, do they seem to be for or against school choice as a whole?
The ones I talk to, it's a mixed bag. I see it from both sides, and a lot of it is just not having the full information of what's going on in the legislature and how that process works. You know, anytime you have legislation for any topic, the devil's in the details, and so there's a lot that are really just sitting back and waiting to see what kind of details will be put in any kind of education choice bill that Speaker White's going to put out. I know it's one of his top priorities. I know there are things that public schools are going to want if there's a bill that comes out. There's things that other school choice proponents are going to want in a bill, and all that has to be fleshed out. And so there's a lot of details that have got to be put out there, but there's a lot of wait and see attitude to see what kind of details there are. I see a lot of folks that can see both sides of the issues, that understand the fear that the public schools have, but also understand how it can benefit individual students and give those parents that freedom. So it's really a mixed bag, and I think that's what's causing a lot of the conflict across the state. Is there are some that are really strong for it, some that are really strong against it, but the vast majority of people are just kind of stuck in the middle and really don't know which way to go.
Well, you know, we keep hearing there's going to be just this mass exodus from public schools, and this is going to just destroy the public schools in the state of Mississippi. But in my experience, or what I have seen in other states, is that the free market works. Well, we know the free market works, and so if we make that available, in my opinion, schools are going to strengthen themselves in order to become competitive.
Oh, I agree. Competition in any business, any industry is going to make things better for all. I think anytime we have a school choice options out there, it's going to help public schools become more competitive, more responsive to parents. It'll help private schools, homeschool groups. Education across the board will get better. The numbers of students fluctuating in and out, that may change year to year. When you look at other neighboring states that have gone with some type of school choice legislation, we're really not seeing a mass exodus. You're not seeing large numbers. I think one of the largest numbers I've seen might be closer to 10% of public school students over a period of time have chosen some other option. That's not a great large number. Even our public school population in the last 10 to 15 years in Mississippi has dropped more than that, just without a school choice legislation. But yes, competition is going to make education so much better. I think it'll even streamline a lot of things that public schools have to do. I know when I was a public school administrator, there were so many things that we had to do in a typical school day that really didn't, when you really got down to it, it didn't make a dramatic effect on the education of that child. Those things will be thrown out. Those things will be, those barriers that are in there to keep good quality educators from doing what they know they need to do in a classroom, but they're burdened by all these rules and regulations. Those things, you're going to get opportunities to get those out of the wayside. That's going to free up even public school teachers, public school administrators to do a better job of what they're doing in educating those kids. And so it's going to make schools across the board better. Competition is good in a free market. Education needs to be part of that free market.
Absolutely. So we saw last legislative session, Jansen Owen introduced a bill over in the House. And basically all that bill said was that if a child wanted to transfer from one public school to another public school, the school the child was leaving would not be able to hinder that and stop that process. That's all the bill was going to do. If the receiving school was okay with it and it would accept the child, the school the child was leaving didn't have the option to hold them back. And I just think that's common sense. Why would we want to hold a child back if they can thrive in a different environment?
Absolutely. I think that in a nutshell is really the foundation of school choice altogether. And I know Representative Owen's bill was just a public to public transfer, but even that would have been the start of giving parents opportunities to choose what's best for their own particular children. I don't understand why that bill didn't move forward any more than it did, other than, and one of the big issues you hear from some public schools, they just don't have the space. There's crowding. And a lot of good schools feel like they'll be overwhelmed with people trying to get there. And that's a good sign. If that school is good enough that everybody wants to be there, that's a good sign. And I do think legislation has to have some type of cap.
Right.
Give schools an opportunity to have some type of capacity, because you can't just overwhelm the system in a handful of schools. But it does seem like that's just a no-brainer. If
you would think
parent sees a better opportunity for a child in a different school, they should have that opportunity to go.
Well, I know you, like me, are against big government and people putting restrictions on your freedoms and your rights. And to me, the biggest issue here is what is best for the child. We should have the money following the child and what's best for them. We have so many school districts, far too many in the state, in my opinion. We have superintendents who are making outrageous salaries. And I think that the emphasis needs to be put back on the child and what is best for that particular child. Each one is so unique. Each individual is so unique in their needs and in the ways that they are able to thrive in an education setting. And I just think that should be the focus here.
I agree. From a philosophical standpoint, the government has taken on the role of overseeing educating the next generation, and we see that as beneficial to all of society when children are educated and they become productive citizens later on in life. So, and government's taking that primary role. I think that even started back with Thomas Jefferson. So you go way back in history that has taken place in this country. The government having that role doesn't necessarily mean that government has to be the only way to provide that education. They can oversee that education, and that's using the tax dollars and allowing those tax dollars to go where it's most beneficial for the student. There are lots of options out there for ways that can educate kids. Government needs to provide the opportunity and the means to do that. And like you said, I'm not a big government guy. I think the less government we have, the better off we're going to be. And so there are so many ways that government can just get out of the way and let parents make the right decisions, and even let educators make the right decisions for what's best in educating our children, and just provide the dollars to follow that kid to educate them. And that's going to benefit society all the way
I agree completely. And I also think that this would even open the door for larger teacher salaries. And I just think it's good. I think it's a win all the way around. The arguments that I see aren't valid. They are fear tactics that, like you said, that have been put out there by certain organizations, and
Right.
it's just trying to cause fear. It's trying to make you afraid to move forward, and we are being left behind. We've seen every single state around us pass school choice legislation, and they're thriving. They're doing well.
That's right. And I think school choice would also be a big economic boom across the state, too. And, we currently have somewhere around 135 school districts, public school districts across the state. Only 25 of those have seen an increase in enrollment over the last 10 to 12 years. The vast majority of our districts are seeing a decrease in enrollment now. And that just mirrors population shifts across the state. When you look at census data, you're seeing populations move to the Gulf Coast. You're seeing around the Hattiesburg area. You're seeing up south of Memphis. You see these pockets of population increases. Those school districts tend to be pretty good school districts. So you're seeing people moving to those districts. Well, in our little town of Bay Springs here, we have a population of 1,600 with 2,000 manufacturing jobs. So people are driving in from long distances to come to work. If we had school choice legislation, those people could live closer to their job.
Right.
It would make a dramatic impact in this little small community. If we went from 1,600 people living here to closer to 2,000 over a 5 to 10 year span of time, we need another grocery store. We need another restaurant. We need another insurance agent. All these other businesses pop up, and it becomes an economic boom in this area. Multiply that by every small town and small community across the state. When there's opportunities for kids to go to whatever schools parents feel like they need them to be in, then that just drives economic development in those areas as well. So it's more than just an educational issue for me. It's an economic issue as well. And it just could cause the state would thrive in situations like that, and any cost that it would be for the state is going to be taken up in the economic increases that we'll see over a short period of time.
That's a great point. That's a point that's not made very often, but that's really a great one. Okay, so you're writing. I guess you said more likely will be once a week. And tell us where people can find that, your articles that you're writing about school choice.
They'll be published in the Laurel Leader Call. You can find that online or subscribe. And it'll be an article of once a week, and I guess until I get all my points out. But I'm planning on about 5 or 6 articles in this series, just laying out some different perspectives and different points. And I'm in no way bashing public schools. Like I said, my wife's a public school teacher. My kids have gone to public schools. I've worked in public schools. There are some great public school educators out there, and great public schools doing great work. I just think it's time that we open up those opportunities and just continue to see Mississippi rise more so than it's done in the past several years. So I think it's just an opportunity that we're ready to see a lot of progress take place from here.
I agree. Well, Gerald, thank you so much for taking the time to call in today. I know it was last minute, but with this meeting coming up tomorrow, and I hope we can get people there to the Capitol to support. And I just wanted people to be able to hear from an educator who actually supports this and your reasons why. So I truly, truly appreciate it.
Sure. Anytime. Thank you.
Absolutely. We got to take a break. Y'all stay with us. We will be right back here on The Lindsay Beckham Show. Show.
.1039 WYAB.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty, and right now receive $20 off on service diagnostic fees. Call us today, 601-939-7420, mypureairconsultants.com.
Friday night lights, family, and a hot Johnny's Pizza House pizza on the table. Now, that's our kind of hustle. Make it a sweep the kitchen and bring everyone together. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice. Here in the South, we keep our football loud and our pizza loaded. Grab a Johnny's Pizza House sweep the kitchen and cheer on your hometown team. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Did you know that the average six-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Friday night lights, family, and a hot Johnny's Pizza House pizza on the table. Now that's our kind of heaven. Make it a sweep the kitchen and bring everyone together. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice. Here in the South, we keep our football loud and our pizza loaded. Grab a Johnny's Pizza House, sweep the kitchen, and cheer on your hometown team. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
CBS News Brief. 2 people were killed. Another is in critical condition after a shooting this morning at an ICE facility in Dallas. The FBI's Joe Rothrock says it was an act of targeted violence.
Early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
The Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed the victims were detainees and said the gunman killed himself. Ukrainian President Zelensky spoke to the UN General Assembly today, warning of a dangerous arms race that's come out of Russia's war on his country.
And every year that this war goes on, weapons become even more deadly.
A drone fired from Yemen struck the southern Israeli city of Eilat today. More than 20 people were wounded, 2 of them seriously. It isn't clear whether they were hurt by the drone or an interceptor. On Wall Street, stocks are lower. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
I am Wayne Lloyd, Delta Farm Services, LLC. We do all types of dirt work, excavation, dozer work, land leveling. We do building pads, commercial ponds and lakes, residential ponds and lakes, anything with dirt work. You can reach me at 662-528-0826. 662-528-0826. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Let Shelter be your shield. Come see me, Jamie Creel, 601-992-6000.
It's time to fall into savings at Mazda of Jackson. With ball games, road trips, and all the busyness, don't miss a thing. With 2.9% financing for 36 months on a new 2025 Mazda CX-5. Or get 2.9% financing for 63 months on the 2025 CX-90. 1-year maintenance is included on your new vehicle purchase. And take advantage of the pre-tariff inventory that's almost gone. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
We are back here on the Lindsay Beckham Show. Big thanks to my friend Gerald Wade for calling in and giving us his perspective as an educator on the school choice issue and where he stands and why. I think he made some really great, valid points. Y'all look for his articles. Again, tomorrow at our state capitol, the Education Freedom Select Committee, set up and appointed by our speaker, Jason White, will have their second meeting. It will start at 10. It will be in room 113. That's on the first floor of the Capitol, down at the very end of the hallway. We will hear from, starts at 10, we'll hear from Dr. Kim Wiley, who is the Director of Education Equity at the Mississippi Center for Justice. We'll also hear from Marcus Boudreau, Superintendent of the Biloxi School District. Erica Donalds, after lunch, they're going to break for lunch from 12 to 1, long enough for me to come do the show and then go back. I'm kidding. That's really not why they're breaking at 12, but they're going to break for lunch from 12 to 1. At 1, Erica Donalds will be speaking. She is the chair of America First Policy Institute's Center for Education Opportunity. She's also the wife of Congressman Byron Donalds, and she sits on the advisory team of a little organization you might have heard of called Moms for Liberty. Then finally, Dr. Patrick Wolf, who is the professor of education policy and the 21st Century Endowed Chair in school choice in the Department of Education Reform at the University of Arkansas. That is a mouthful. Whoever introduces him tomorrow is going to have a lot to say. But big thank you to Speaker Jason White for putting this Education Freedom Committee together, to Representative Jansen Owen and Representative Rob Robertson, who chairs the Education Committee, who have been huge advocates on this issue in the fight for education freedom in the state of Mississippi. Cannot say enough great things about those guys and how hard they are working to get this done. I think you'll be surprised at the things that you hear. I encourage you to attend if you can at all possible. It will not be live streamed. At least I know the first one was not live streamed. And so I very seriously doubt this one will be, but you really don't want to miss what they have to say. I think it could change some minds. It could definitely change some minds around here. I'm going to read some of your comments. We've got Miss Angela from the Mike magazine. Hey, Angela. You ask, will the child continue in the public school sector? Angela, it just depends on the language of the bill after we see what bills are dropped once our legislative session starts. You know, some bills are worded in a way that they are public to public school transfers. There's probably going to be a universal school choice bill, which will give parents the freedom to put their child in any education environment that they think is best fit for that said child. It really just depends on which bill you're looking at. I imagine there will be several, so it's going to depend on that. We have got Hippie J, great stream, watching from Southern Ohio. Well, welcome in. Dan, I'm not even going to read your messages because I'm not arguing with you about school choice today. I am for it, all for it. Let's see here. We got a message on the text line that said parents should talk to their children's teacher about how they can help them and tell them how much they appreciate what they do. Absolutely. And I will be, the first to advocate for thanking our teachers, our good teachers. There are so many good teachers, and I know y'all hear me complain all the time about things that are happening in education across the country, but I never want to lose sight of the fact that my children here in Madison County have had some amazing, amazing teachers. In fact, there were teachers at their public school who left school without pay to come and be with my children and comfort my children at their father's funeral back in 2016. So I cannot say enough about the quality of public school teachers that my kids have had. And I never want anyone to think that I am talking down when it comes to the Madison County school teachers, at least not the ones that I have encountered, because they have really left lasting impressions on my older two girls, especially, just because they have been through so much heartbreak and they've seen a lot of death and destruction in their life, more than any 16 and 14-year-old should have to see at a very young age. And they have had support, more support than I ever could have asked for. So I want everyone to know that I'm very much pro teacher and supporting our public school teachers. Now, I do think a lot of them are misinformed on this issue, but I also don't blame them for not supporting something that they're told is going to be catastrophic to their school. But that's just not the case. It's just not what's happening in any state that we have seen that has passed this legislation, and it is not what will happen here. The fear-mongering needs to stop. It needs to stop. But tomorrow's show should be interesting. I know a lot of you tuned in, and we have gotten a ton of response on the Eddie Williams murder that Sean and I covered last Monday, or September 15th, if you want to go back and watch that episode. Well, one of the attorneys that represented one of the people who was considered a suspect in the murder decided he would message Sean yesterday. And I don't know if this was an attempt to intimidate us or scare us into not talking about this topic. But I'm telling you, all he did was fire us up even more. We cannot be intimidated. We are not scared. We are not going to shut up and go away just because he thinks we should. Shortly after he sent Sean a Facebook message, he found my YouTube channel and commented something crazy over there as well. We aren't afraid of you. You can't intimidate someone who is just speaking the truth. We've had so many people thank us for having a new set of eyes on this and to bring this back to the forefront. And we're serious about it. We want to bring justice to this family. We want to get to the bottom of what happened that night once and for all. And if there are people that are still alive that should be held accountable, we want to make that happen. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with making sure someone doesn't get away with murder. So if you think you can intimidate us, think again, because you can't. We got to take our last break, but y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to wrap things up on this very dreary and rainy Wednesday right here on The Lindsay Beckham Show. Wednesday right here on The Lindsay Beckham Show.
.1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Cork and Door Company has been providing quality residential garage and commercial overhead door products to Mississippians for over 50 years. Cork and Door is a supplier of garage door parts and services such as LiftMaster, commercial and residential door operators, as well as Clopay, sectional commercial and residential doors, Asta, commercial sheet and rolling steel doors, and Cornell, rolling steel and shutters, with many in stock for the same-day pickup. CorkandDoor.com. That's CorkandDoor.com.
The mowing season is full on here in Mississippi. I'm David Frederick, owner of Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. The industry-changing Exmark Laser Z commercial mower turns 30 years old this year and has been redesigned with even more great features you just have to see. We have a sale going on with instant rebates, and 0% financing is available too. Stop by our store and let our award-winning staff show you the Exmark difference. Fredericks and Exmark, over 3 decades serving you in Brandon since 1993.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. Why is Rita Jensen the type of real estate professional you are looking for?
As a mortgage professional, I look for making transactions easier, and Rita Jensen with Remax Connection is a prime example of that. Her attention to detail, her strong communication skills really help us as a mortgage company make everything smooth. From start contract to close, she helps me.
RitaJensen.net.
You often hear life referred to as running a race. The same can be said for financial planning and investing. Think of Wheeler Parker as your track coach to help you run your best financial life. Wheeler Parker provides decades of investment and wealth management strategy and experience in navigating life's hills, valleys, and curves, strictly from a financial perspective, of course. Life's a race. It takes money to run it well. And whether you're just out of the blocks or approaching the finish line, Wheeler Parker is here for the journey. Wheeler Parker, financial advisor, 601-607-7596. roofs. Malone is a company in motion, striving daily to improve the way the roofing industry operates and is perceived. A leader in commercial and residential roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. Malone means the highest quality materials delivered with expertise workmanship from acclaim or construction. At Malone, you found your roofing and metal walls partner. Malone has proven for generations there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you. More info at ecmalone.com.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
B-Dubs cocktails, pretzel knots, and mozzarella sticks. It's all on me today. Oh, so you're happy hour rich when the happy hour menu is only $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m. $3 to $6? That's crazy. You know we're at happy hour right now from 3 to 6 p.m. It's happy hour crazy. We were here yesterday too. Crazy. Quit playing. I'm gonna let you pay though. Food, beer, and cocktails for $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m. Buffalo Wild Wings for the greatest of all times. Monday through Friday only. Beer deals available all day at participating locations. Taxes and fees apply. Dine in only. Drink responsibly. Offers vary by location. Void where prohibited.
We would like to invite you to visit our retirement community, which is not only beautiful, but affordable as well. I'm Rhonda Brown, director at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland. Our team members are passionate about making our residents' life easier and more enjoyable. We have fun-filled educational and entertaining activities, plus daily exercise that will help with your stamina and balance. Call us at the Waterford on Highland Colony in Ridgeland, 601-856-6131.
We are back. We've got about 2 minutes left, but just wanted to tell everyone, and in case you were wondering why you shouldn't be a Democrat or a liberal, let me just tell you. We are seeing people across the country, Democrats, pregnant women who are gulping down handfuls of Tylenol to prove it's safe. I cannot explain what a slap in the face that is to people like me who have autistic children. Do better. Do better. We also have seen the Democrats drop a bill in Congress that is called, no, get this, the Counseling Not Criminalization in Schools Act. You know what they want to do? They want to add more woke counselors to your children's schools and remove the safety resource officers. They want to remove the funding for the safety resource officers and put in more counselors who have to abide by the American Counselors Association that basically says, we don't tell parents anything. We keep kids' secrets. We hide things from parents. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. When we are seeing more school shootings than ever before, they want to take away from our school's safety resource officers? No, we need more safety resource officers in our schools protecting our children. Just another reason why I'm so glad and so proud not to be a Democrat. Well, I'll be back tomorrow morning, school choice, freedom of education meeting at the Capitol. We'll be here from 12 to 1 with Sean. We'll break down more Eddie Williams. We'll see you then. Bye.